morning. So I told you guys I'll be carrying you along once in a while, any day I'm on duty. So today we just prepared nutrient agar, and this is what we call petri dish. This is what we call petri dish, and we've already prepared nutrient agar. It was handed over to me as I came to duty, so I wasn't the one that started the preparation right from time. So maybe some other time when I'm on duty, we can start the preparation from point one or from the very beginning. So now we're just going to go ahead to display all these petri dishes. You can see the different petri dishes here, and then we'll pour the nutrient agar into them. The writing orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Why is it locked? What happened? Okay, it wants to be this way. Okay. Is this better? I don't know why it's writing locked. I'm trying to adjust the camera. Sorry, please. Okay, I think this is better now. Can you guys see? I think this is better now. Okay, so this is petri dish, like I said before, and then this is nutrient agar. It's already prepared. It was handed over to me as I resumed duty this morning. So maybe some other time that I will be on duty, I'm going to start afresh and then show you guys how to prepare it before we can pour it. So now I'm going to go ahead to pour this into all the petri dishes, and then we'll keep them aside for them to cake. Cake means solidify, and then they can be used much later for making our sensitivity. Sensitivity just basically means when we check out the antibiotics that can work in a patient's body, before him or her can be given such antibiotics to use to treat whatsoever infection that the person is battling. But these are the petri dishes, like I said. Now, before, this has to be covered and then placed in an autoclave for it to be centrifuged, and then before it can be poured into the petri dishes and then we use. So it's already autoclaved, so I'm just going to carefully dispense them into the petri dishes and then we take it off from there. So I'll just take my time and pull this out. Ouch, it's very hot, I won't even lie. I'll just pull this out. Ooh, this is hot. So when I have this out, I'm going to discard this. So you must put that when you are trying to place your agar into the autoclave to sterilize. If not, the more it boils, it's going to evaporate and then spill over the autoclave. But using this to cover your conical flask is going to help you to ensure that it doesn't spill out. Now, I'm going to carefully start dispensing them into my petri dish. But you have to make sure you kind of swing it around so that it mixes thoroughly. Ouch, this is very hot. Okay, I have a bigger napkin. Now I'm going to swing this around. Swing this around to make sure it mixes very well, and then you start dispensing them into your petri dish little at a time. This is hot. It's so hot. So little at a time. Okay, to avoid contamination, I won't be talking again. So I'll just continue pouring until I'm through, and then I'll start talking when I'm done pouring, dispensing or pouring them. So I can talk now because I'm done dispensing it. Now someone can ask, what is this? So I actually just prepared what we call media. Media is an artificial environment where you grow microorganisms so that they will be able to have like an environment as if they are growing inside our body too. Okay, for instance, someone can come to the hospital or the laboratory with the presentation of having lower abdominal pain, or maybe she is having some discharge. Maybe it has different colors. When you're having white discharge, most times you should query candidiasis. And then also when you are having other abnormal colors such like brown, some can be yellow too, some can be bloody, and other abnormal colors that we have, you are usually encouraged to go for either a urine culture and then a HVS culture. Urine culture, that's urine MCS. The M there is for microscopy, the C is for culture, and the S is for sensitivity. Now the microscopy is when if it's urine, you're going to take some part of the urine, pour into a centrifuge tube or pour into any smaller bottle. This is what we call a centrifuge. So you're going to pop this in here and then centrifuge. What you're trying to achieve is you want the sediment in the urine to settle down, so that you have like a two components, the sediment and then the solvent. The solvent is going to be clear, so that just in case there is anything found in the urine, it's going to settle down. So when it settles down, then you can see maybe that if there is pore cells in the person's urine, if there's epithelial cells, if there is yeast cells, if there are some parasites like Schistosoma hematobium, that is where you're going to find all this after spinning the urine. So with that sediment, you can now transfer them to your microscopic slide. This is what we call a slide. We're going to transfer this to a slide, then cover what we call a cover slip, and then view under the microscope. So when you do this, that will help you ascertain or say what is found in the person's sample. Now, when they now ask, okay, go and do culture, how do you evaluate, or how can you say this is the bacteria or this is the microorganism disturbing the patient? That is when all this media come into place, or this is when the usefulness of all this media will come into place. Now they are of different kinds, or they are of different classes based on the organism they are trying to isolate, or based on the organism they are trying to a kind of pinpoint. This is what is disturbing your client, or this is what is disturbing your patient. Now this one I just prepared today is called nutrient agar. This nutrient agar, it doesn't have so much nutrient that can make an organism grow. We mostly use this for sensitivity. Like I said earlier in the beginning of the line, I said sensitivity is where you're trying to ascertain to know the exact antibiotics you can use for a patient. Now we have other media like the one we call the enrich. The enrich, just from the name enrich, my pocket is enriched. So it just basically means transforming the basic to a higher media. Now what we just do, examples of this enrich are, we have what we call the blood agar. Let me see if I can, okay, I have some here. So you can see, we have what we call the blood agar. Even from the color you can see it. You can see the color in red. Now this one is, you can see the color, this one is called cleared. This one is called chocolate. You can even see from the color. Now, this blood is called enriched because the basic is now nutrient agar, and then to the basic, you are adding extra nutrient, which is extra blood. Now, we have a way to do the calculation to know the exact quantity of blood you'll be adding to get this blood agar. You don't just add any amount of blood. You have to do your calculation to know the quantity of blood you'll be adding so that it will be able to enrich the basic and then turn it to it will be able to change the basic and then turn it to an enriched media, so that when the microorganisms come across to it, they will be able to feed and then have the adequate nutrients that they want, so they can be able to express exactly the same way they behave when they are inside the body or inside the system of a human being. Now, we also have the one that we call enrichment. Now, enrichment, example of one of the enrichment is what we call the chocolate agar. Now, it has almost a similar way of preparation with the blood. The only difference is that for the blood, you're going to allow it to cool down a bit. You're going to allow the nutrient agar cool down a bit before you pour in the blood. Whereas for the chocolate, you're going to pour it in as the nutrient agar is hot, so that the hotness will help in cooking up the blood immediately, and then it will change to give that chocolate color. Whereas for the blood, if you pour it immediately, it's going to change the color and you won't have this bright color. You won't have this red bright color. So you can also see the chocolate agar, and then this one that's light blue is what we call cleared. Now, this cleared basically means cysteine lactose electrolyte deficient. So it lacks electrolyte. So it's an example of what we call a selective media. In the selective media, we have the likes of cleared, and also we have the likes of what we call McConkey. So I think I'm going to with time, we'll start from the basics one at a time, and then we'll talk about it one at a time. So I'm just going to allow I'm going to allow them to solidify. I'm going to solidify, I'm going to pack them up and then store them in our refrigerator so that we can use them one at a time until we exhaust all of them. So if you have any question, you can drop that in the comment section and then I would attend to you. So I am Chidima. I still remain your medical laboratory scientist or your biomedician. I have a specialty in medical micro. So I am also a medical microbiologist. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining my life. And some other time, one step at a time, we'll discuss on blood group, after which we're going to discuss on genotype. Then if there's also any other topic you want us to discuss on, you can also bring that up, drop in the comment section, you can send me a DM and then we look at it together. Are you smiling? These are some blood samples. So just like I said about preparing chocolate agar, we're going to pour the blood sample directly into the nutrient agar, so that the hotness of the nutrient agar will cook up the blood, thus giving it that chocolate color. But for blood agar, you're going to allow it to cool down a bit. If you pour it when it's pretty hot, it's going to discolor it and then give it another color that you don't want. So I'm going to pour this. This is nutrient agar. This is nutrient agar. So I'm going to pour these blood samples into it right now. And then I'm going to turn this around to ensure that it mixes very well. You can see there's a color change. It's already changing. But the nutrient agar is not super hot. If not, it's meant to be darker than this. It's meant to be darker than this. But it can still go. I'm just going to dispense them into the petri dish. Joy, please let me check her daughter's MP. That last time I worked, what did I write for her? I finished there, she can't. Eh? Can't. I finished, she still came to do it again. Some people can't do it from the beginning now. I said, but I always find it. It's not that. I'm not going to like. So I'm going to allow all these things now. This one is broken. I can't use this one. This one's already condemned. I can't use it. But this is what I have. I just basically prepared nutrient agar and then some blood agar. So I'm just going to wash this out, and then that brings us to the end of it. Is that nursing school that cut that? Is it the nursing school that cut that? The nursing school. No, we should cut admission.
Okay. We just stay SB9 to around 9:30. In that same message, they say that gotten admission, that Africa, that nursing school, nursing school. So we are not saying that. I was not saying that. Are you sure it's real? Because they are free admission pass now. So why would they be sending message that you are studying midwifery? So we are not saying whether it's real. We are trying to call the Reverend Father the number, sometimes the number will go, sometimes it will go, it's not picking.
Someone has not done nursing with you immediately. It's not true.
They say you can do the midwifery, then later do the
It's
nursing.
not true. You have to do the you know that you chop it and
He's
I want
talking like that.
It's not true.
They say you
It's
can
not
do
true
the
now.
now be doing the nursing. Most people got the this thing now, got the message, because I already called my cousin sister that is there. You say most people got the message.
Are you serious?
So we are saying we should confirm first, but we say we should pay acceptance fee.
Be
So we
careful.
have to confirm first. We are trying to call the referee that is not going.
Okay, bye. Be careful.
Because sister now went to meet for referee, that referee father, they said he traveled. So we want to be sure.
Be sure. Put it on pay